let's move into 1988 for Slugs.
Yeah.
Um, Killer slugs on the rampage in a rural community. Directed by John. Can you say this one for me? Do you know it?
Juan Picar Simon.
There you go. And written by Ron Gantman, Jose Antonio Escriva, and Juan Piquer Simon. Huh?
There you go.
There you go. It's based on a novel, evidently, by Shaun Hutson.
I know. I need to check it out. I got to get it.
Jason, do you have information?
Tagline: They slime, they ooze, they kill. Distributed by New World Pictures and out on Blu-ray through Arrow, 2016.
My collection. Yep.
Yeah, I need to get that.
This is I've never seen this before.
Same.
The first thing that stood out to me was the music they used in between things. There was just bizarre music choices that happened that you could have used in pedestrian moments in a horror movie, or like as background music in a YouTube tutorial about how to organize your home office. You know, like it was
game show music. I heard game show music.
Just weird choices. The first special effect you see is pretty impressive. The corpse of the drunk guy covered in worms and shit. It's a pretty good piece of business. It lets you know that they've got a team on this. I think it's hilarious that the main character is a health inspector. For multiple reasons. If anybody's ever met a health inspector, they are not going to be the person that saves the day ever. And I think it's funny the problems they have him dealing with, like in some of his phone calls and stuff. And they give him a health inspector type car too. Like his car's he's just a lame guy. And I think it's funny that no one takes him seriously. The cops fuck off. This one dude fucking gets he's like a farmer or something. His name's Harold, one of the characters that dies, but he really overreacts when he puts his hand in his gardening glove and gets bitten.
Yep.
And then just eventually, I mean, it's really hilarious. He just cuts his hand off. Fucking wild. Just a little bit of an overreaction. I would try a million other things before I went to that. But this is the guy that did Pieces, right? So I noticed a lot of similar things between the two movies, because just the layout of the movie in general seemed very similar, because the dude loves a fucking procedural. He loves to get the detectives in there and fucking mix it up. But this guy's not a detective. He's one of my favorite kinds of detectives. One that's not involved at all. Like, he's the fucking health inspector. He shouldn't be involved. But yeah, man. This movie's crazy. There's a scene with a guinea pig gets attacked by a slug, and all I could think of was how the fuck did they get it to do that? Do you think that if you just wrapped something around a guinea pig, it would fucking act all crazy like that? Quality work, whatever it was. The scene in the bedroom was awesome. There's a floor full of slugs. It's just it's all nasty and shit. My favorite character is the police chief. I love how much he says "God damn it," and he thinks that the main character, whose name is Mike Brady, by the way, he thinks this guy's a complete fucking joke. He won't take him serious at all. There's a lot of cool effects though. There's a guy that melts down at the restaurant.
Yep.
Fucking there's a lot of body melt type shit. This is just a pleasant treat. It was a Halloween film all of a sudden. Yeah. Out of nowhere, it's just Halloween. I loved that. Yeah, and then there's this part where Mike goes and gets his friend, and I've never seen this happen in a movie before, where they're going to do some sketchy shit and the guy just directly tells his wife what's going on. He's like, well, to be honest with you, we're going down in the sewer to get some slugs. And I'm like, God damn it. So many movies, if they would have just done that shit to begin with,
he loves his wife. He's honest with her.
Yeah. Overall, this is the best version of this kind of movie. Ultimately, Pieces is way better, but
Yeah.
that's just because it's more in my genre wheelhouse. Ultimately, you got a 6 out of 10 from me. It's an above average creature feature. Is that what you would call this?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
Mutant slugs on a rampage.
Oh, Frank.
Isn't it nice that how everybody has different opinions?
It is.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. I'm just trying to wrap my head. You gave this movie a 6. We have Amusement Park a 10.
Yeah.
Like it blows my mind at sometimes the numbers you throw out here.
Well,
but that's your opinion.
well,
That's your opinion. Don't get mad.
I'm not mad. I'm saying that as far as I'm concerned, I don't really want to watch any movie about a bunch of things or large things. That's like not creature features aren't for me. So a 6 is like a 10 to you guys or whatever, you know, like it's as good as it's gonna get. I mean, it's a Frankenfish. Come on.
Wow, come on. All right, okay. So I get what you're saying a little bit. I'll touch on that here in a second. But so this it started off slow for me. I didn't really get into this movie until about 40 minutes in, and then I was like, wow, like it got really good all of a sudden. Like I think it was maybe when those like the couple was in the bedroom and she gets off the bed and he tries getting out the window. Like that's when it grabbed a hold of me. The effects look great. Some of the blood looks a bit bad, but
a bit painty.
Yeah, but a little bit. It has a great head explosion in it. I'm always impressed with head explosions. Like I think it takes some skill to pull one off. So and slugs are disgusting just to begin with. Like I've stepped on them walking out to my car. Like you can feel them squishing. Like I can imagine stepping on a whole floor full of these things. They're just disgusting. And I think that this. So you said this is kind of the best movie. I don't know what you meant.
Like as far
best
as
creature feature or just
like
best
I'm really ultimately only going to give
type.
Yeah, I think I gave Frankenfish a 4. Like this is a 6. Like this is as good as I'm going to get.
Well, the only thing I was getting at is this would be a good double feature with Slither.
I'll take it. Slither is the exception to the rule. That movie is fucking amazing. But
so I think that would be a good night. This and Slither put those together. Some of the writing is a bit weird, but that may have something to do with it being a novel. They may be trying to stick to it, or I don't know. It just seemed to get a little bit weird. It takes an imagination. So that's what I'll say as far as like you Frankenfish. Like this takes an imagination. Like you have to be. This ain't necessarily a serious movie. Just put it in, have a good time with it. It gets points for being fall time. Halloween. I mean, there wasn't stress, but there's some jack-o'-lanterns. The leaves are turning. Like it gets a couple points for that. I like horror movies filmed in the autumn. I feel like autumn and winter. Well, no, I need my summertime slasher.
Just say
it's all good. I like it. Not perfect. I will pick this up. I gave it a 7.
Very cool. Yeah, this was a fun one. I got to review this one when I was still reviewing Arrow discs. So this that was the first time I saw it. The only other like worm kind of movie I saw before that was Squirm, which I really like. Nice. So the extras on this disc, I know there's some sort of documentary that really goes in about how they use the slugs and what literal kind they are. I found so many different kind of names for them, but dude, the different kind of music they kept playing, I loved it. The cop show, they had the cop show theme, they had the love theme. It's like I kept waiting for after every gory scene for it to go da, 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 da. You know, like that one Simpsons Treehouse of Horror. Every sequence ended with that. Like it was an early one, but it was just so funny. It was like the heart thing, the heart
Oh yeah.
mask. You know what I'm talking about? But that was funny. The dude, that restaurant scene was great. I mean, that salad did taste salty.
Yeah.
Ugh, I don't know. And then just
Yeah.
it's so awesome. Great effect. Great effect. This is a solid watch. Like there's I really liked how they used like a giant garbage bag with some fake slugs on it to pad out the amount of slugs they had. And then the sewer scene I really like too, with the lightning or the electricity, and then the them flowing down, or well, they're flowing down a hill or on a treadmill or something. I'm not sure exactly how the effect worked, but the slugs were moving down the sewer. That was really awesome. This is just a fun flick. Like it's gross, but not overly gory. You know what I mean? It could have been a lot worse. It wasn't Pieces. You know what I mean? This was like a lot tamer than Pieces. So I ended up giving this one a 7. It's a super fun watch, and everyone should see it at least once.
Right on, Rob.
That was one of my favorite movies. It's like it's gory. It's got like hot chicks getting naked, or at least one hot chick, and it's like the restaurant scene that everyone keeps talking about. That was amazing because the first time I saw it, I was like, okay, what's gonna happen here? As the blood starts coming out of a dude's nose, I was like, whoa, man, that was just like the big explosion, the worms, blood flukes, man, that was just like that's beauty, that's art. All the gore scenes were really cool. And then the slugs themselves are fucking hilarious. Who didn't laugh when they did a close up on a thing and it went, yeah.
Oh yeah,
the one that had teeth.
So awesome.
With the bite finger or something. Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, that's why it takes an imagination for sure.
It's like, oh, it's in my glove. I guess I'll cut my hand.
Yeah, just right to it, man. He like hit it on shit a lot, but yeah.
Your logic.
Well, what do you give it out of 10?
I give it a solid 8. It's a movie. Like I said, I'm gonna buy the Blu-ray and I'm gonna watch it over and over again.
There you go.
It looks just like it on Tubi. I'm pretty sure that's the Arrow Blu-ray version that they show. It's super clear. Like it looks good. The photography that I like, the fast motion slugs, that made them look like extra gross.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they showed them at regular speed because they're super. I remember something like he's like they are way slower than regular slugs. Like we had to film them at super high speed in order to make look like they're doing something. So that I thought that's a fun one.
Yeah, it would be a pain in the ass to make that film for sure. Speaking, since we talked about Pieces a little bit, I was thinking about it, and I just want to know, what's the thing you remember most about that movie?
About Pieces.
Yeah, what's the one thing that when you're thinking about Pieces, you're like, that's the first thought, the first image.
The puzzle.
The puzzle, right?
Or the very end. Yeah,
that's what I was thinking. The end part, whenever the genital,
the nut grab.
Yeah,
that too.
That's the first thing that pops into my head.
That too.
I think the chainsaw shower scene. That's one of 6 for me.
Yeah.
That's such
one of
a
the grossest
scene.
scenes in the movie, man.
They used like a pig,
like a
pig
guy.
for that, like a pig carcass for that.
That's great too. That karate guy out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.